Hello and welcome to Vindicast number 9. I have a Masters TvZ for you guys today. It is on the new NASL tournament map, Artifice, a map I have absolutely no experience with, but this matchup I do have experience with. In the top left we have the orange Zerg Alcresh, and in the top right we have the purple Terran Dully. Okay, so these guys are both Masters players, and actually the Zerg Alcresh, I really hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, he's actually in Grand Masters League this season, so these guys are really top level. This is apparently played on a tournament match, for a tournament, excuse me. I can only assume it was one of the online tournaments like the Playhem or something similar like that. And those tournaments actually are really fun. Those are really fun tournaments that produce a lot of interesting games that really don't get like the kind of exposure that I really wish they would. It's one of the reasons why I even put up this channel in the first place, is because I wanted to give some people who are really good players a little more exposure. Because they earn it. They work real hard to get as good as they are at this game, and I mean the tournaments they play, I mean most of them only pay out to the top winner. So all the guys that like get up to like third, second, fourth place or whatever, they don't actually get anything for their time, and it's really tough. Those tournaments can be really brutal. There's a lot of best of ones that you have to play in order for you to advance. So I mean, anybody can get knocked out at any time, which is another reason why I guess they're actually really exciting, because you can have a GM player like Alcresh get knocked out by somebody who's in lower Masters, for example. I mean, it happens sometimes. It happens all the time in those tournaments. So we're going to have to see what these guys have in mind for each other. Alcresh is obviously, obviously from when I looked up his ranking, he's obviously the higher ranked player, so chances are he's probably going to be playing a little bit safer. And Dully, if he knows who Alcresh is probably going to try and pull out something creative in order to knock him down. That's what happens a lot on these tournaments, and especially on maps like this, which is, this map is so new. This is actually my first game I'm seeing on it. Because these maps are so different, people tend to go a little unconventional with them because the terrain is not quite understood. So builds that would normally be dissected and like destroyed on other maps that are better understood could probably work here. So I'm really eager to see what these guys have in store for me. We do have a drone scout that came in and did scout that the Terran had taken his barracks and had already taken his gas. He is saving up that 400 minerals for a command center, so this is going to be a 1 Rax expand with a single gas. So I'm assuming that there's going to be some form of Hellion play behind this. We're going to have to see when the Terran decides he wants to stop harvesting gas, or if he's going to stop harvesting gas at all. This build is really useful for all sorts of different openings. Hellion openings, siege tank openings, pretty much the works you can do off of 1 gas to start against Zerg in this matchup. And the Zerg is doing the very standard thing himself. He's taken his expansion already. He has the 1 gas down, and he's really only harvesting a little bit from it. He's using the gas to get his speed up, and then he has 1 drone in here to kind of give him a little bit of gas income so that he'll get his lair down at the timing that he wants it. But right now, especially against a Terran player, you want to get as many drones on minerals as you possibly can, because that will allow you to make more drones. Surprise, surprise. Zerg love to make drones, and they will do whatever they can, cut whatever corners they can to make as many drones as they possibly can. And like I said, we do have the factory and the reactor going down for the Terran, with a second barracks coming up behind that. So these guys are opening very standard, which is completely contrary to what I thought they were going to do, because this map is so different. These positions actually are going to be really good for these Hellions, because they're going to be able to get to the Zerg's base very quickly. I'm sure the Zerg player knows this though, but he doesn't have an evolution chamber down, or he is making a spine crawler. He should make an evolution chamber to prevent these Hellions from getting up that ramp. That's typically what you want to do against Hellion openings, is you want to SimCity as much of your ramp as possible. Make it as difficult for the Hellions to maneuver as possible. We do not have the evolution chamber going down here though, so I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned that these Hellions are going to be doing a good amount of damage to this Zerg player. We're going to have to see how he's going to respond to this. Zergling speed is done, so I guess the Zerg player is confident that he can get a good surround on these Hellions, and the Hellions have been revealed. The Zerg player is going to try and get one. He might get one of those Hellions down. He doesn't get the other ones down. They are lined up. He's going to lose those Zerglings. Is he going to get the Hellion? He doesn't get the Hellion, but 4 more Zerglings are coming in. One of those Hellions is very badly damaged, needs to be repaired. He's going to get this repaired, and then he's going to probably go in with 4, or just 3. He's going to stop these Zerglings. These Zerglings are getting a scout. The Zerg does know that the command center is down. He does know that there is a barracks with a tech lab down here. That is going to give him a lot of useful information. But what is the Terran going to do to follow this up? He is making a factory right now, or a starport, excuse me, right now. Is he going to go for some sort of Hellion drop play, or is he just going straight into medevacs because he already has Stimpack being researched? These Hellions are harassing the front of the base. They are not doing very much damage at the moment. They are scared of those Zerglings, and for good reason. If those Zerglings get a surround on those Hellions, they will bring them down very, very quickly. Oh, you can actually go through this? That's really cool. This is how little I know about this map. Okay, we have more Marines, more Hellions coming out onto the map. Those Zerglings are not going to be able to deal with that. He's going to need to pull back to the safety of those Spine Crawlers and those Queens. He's making more Spine Crawlers right now, but I don't know if he's actually going to have enough to take this without taking any damage. He needs Roaches or at least more Zerglings right here. The Zerglings are coming out. A few of them get roasted, but he's just trying to buy time for those spine crawlers to finish. He does not want to engage this with only one spine crawler supporting, but the Terran is backing up. He is afraid that those Zerglings are going to get a nice surround on his army, and he might be right. Those Zerglings are going to get a surround on those Marines. He's going to lose all of those Marines. The Marines go down, but here come the Hellions. There are more Hellions here. That is 6 Hellions. Those Hellions, if micro correctly, could kill all of those Zerglings. And down they all go. One Hellion is very damaged, the others are in the yellow, and the Terran is pulling back to get repairs on it while he gets his tech up. We have more Hellions, more Marines, and we are going to soon have a Banshee out on the field as well. So this is going to be a Banshee, Hellion, Marine, Stim timing push. This is a very powerful push for somebody who knows how to microwave correctly. Is the Zerg going to be able to hold this off without taking very much damage? So far, all he's really managed to lose are Zerglings. He's only lost 1 drone. He has lost 39 Zerglings though. He cannot continue to bleed Zerglings like this without putting a dent in that army, because that army is getting bigger. It's going to be more and more difficult to stop with only Zerglings. Okay, so he does realize this. He is dropping a Roach Warren and a Baneling Nest. That is what he needs. He is realizing now that the Terran is putting a lot of investment into this early harassment. The Spine Crawlers are down. That is going to be a very difficult position for the Terran to attack into. He does have that Banshee. He might just be able to pick at these a little bit, but with the amount of creep spread that is already on the map, those Banshees are not going to do a very good job because Queens are going to be able to take them down very easily. So what is the Terran's follow-up to this? He is dropping a second factory. I can only assume that that's going to be for siege tank production or some kind of later. It is going to be a tech lab, so it is probably going to be for siege tank production unless he starts Blue Flame as soon as that is done. He has additional gases going down. For the Zerg, we have Roaches coming out, +1 coming up for the melee attack and armor. The lair has just finished too, so what is going to be this Zerg's lair tech of choice? Is he just going to start upgrading Roach speed? He is. That probably means that he's going to follow this up with an infestation pit, or I am wrong. It's actually going to be a spire. So I am a little lost as to what the Zerg is going to be doing. It looks like he wants to transition into Mutalist, but he wants to use the Roaches to fend off the Hellions. Oh, those Hellions got a good shot on that Spine Crawler. That Spine Crawler is very badly damaged, at least right now, without it even getting a chance to do any damage back. It's taken into the yellow, so that needs to be transfused as quickly as the Zerg can get to it. We have the factory being moved over to the other tech lab, so we are probably going to see a transition into siege tanks or Thors after this. Thors would actually be a very good idea. He has a lot of Hellions and a lot of Marines. We do have Blue Flame going down instead. I do not know what he plans to do with the other tech lab. There is a siege tank being produced there, but we have a Roach counterattack coming in here. That is not going to work. That is too many Marines. Too many Marines. Those Roaches need to get out of there, but they don't have speed yet. These Hellions are going to be able to chase him down and do a good bit of damage. He's going to lose a lot of those Roaches. Those Roaches are lined up. They are going to turn around. They are going to get one Hellion kill. He's going to be able to get back to the creep. He gets back to the creep. Those Roaches are going to be okay. These Spine Crawlers are going to be able to delay that attack from actually coming into the main base. We have Banelings being morphed in behind this. That is a great idea. These Banelings, oh, and those Banelings already have speed too. Okay, so these Banelings and these Roaches are going to do a very good job of holding off at this attack. But those Banshees, he doesn't have a response for those Banshees just yet. He needs to bring up a Queen. He's just going to go for it. He's going to go for it. These Roaches are going to come in. Those Banelings are going to come in behind that, but the Terran splits up his army. That is a great decision. Those Banelings are not going to be able to get a good impact on that army as it is right now. He's going to back up to the safety of the siege tank, but the siege tank does not have siege mode yet. Oh my god. Alright, these Roaches are going to be doing a lot of damage. There are no more units. There are no more units at the Terran's front door. He can take a lot of damage from this Roach attack. But Blue Flame is almost done. There is no siege mode yet. How is he going to deal with all of these Roaches? The SCVs are coming off the line. How many SCVs are going to go down during this? Oh, so he just decides that he's going to GG out of that. That's really unfortunate. Alright, the Zerg player did a great job holding off that initial attack. The use of the spine crawlers and moving them forward like that made it more and more difficult and more risky for the Terran to continue moving Hellions towards the Zerg's base. Had he continued to do that, he would have continued to lose them. I think the real nail in the coffin here, though, was for that decision to go for Blue Flame over Siege Mode. If he had had Siege Mode ready, he would have been able to hold off this attack without too much worry. Siege Mode, as far as I know, researches quicker than Blue Flame does, and even if it doesn't, the Blue Flame was almost done by the time that attack came up. He would have been able to pull back to the safety of Siege Mode and been able to prolong this game further, but I'm not even sure if that really would have mattered. He put a lot of investment into that early attack, and he wasn't really able to kill much of anything as far as workers goes. There are only 7 drone kills, and for the amount of investment the Terran put into that attack, that is just simply not enough. So, great defense by the Zerg, great attempt by the Terran to at least put the Zerg on his back heels and make him uncomfortable, but this is why this guy is such a high-rated player, and he just demonstrated it in this game, and I hope you guys enjoyed that because I enjoyed casting it. Thanks a lot.